Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this evening we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 15, text 18. Please chant. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Please. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Mataji's. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Yasmat, because, ksharam, to the fallible, atitaha, transcendental, aham, I am, aksharat, beyond the infallible, api, also, cha, and, uttamaha, the best, ataha, therefore, asmi, I am, loke, in the world, vede, in the Vedic literature, cha, and, prathita, celebrated, purusha uttamaha, as the personality, as the supreme personality. Translation. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Please repeat the translation. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is incorrect to think of the Supreme Lord and the living entities as being on the same level or equal in all respects. There is always the question of superiority and inferiority between their personalities. The word Uttama is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama, the Smriti scripture, as confirmed in the Nirukti dictionary, Lokyate Vedartho Anena. The purpose of the Vedas is explained by the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord, in his localized aspect of Paramatma, is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas, Chandogya Upanishad 8:12-3. Tavad esha samprasado asmach charirat samuthaya param jyoti rupam sampadya svena rupenabhinishpadyate sa uttamaha purushaha. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Then, in his form, he remains in his spiritual identity. That Supreme is called the Supreme Personality. This means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination. That Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect as Paramatma. By incarnating himself as the son of Satyavati and Parashara, he explains the Vedic knowledge as Vyasadeva. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. This verse reminds me immediately of His Grace Jananimas Prabhu, under whose guidance I was serving in the deity department in Sridham Mayapur. He was saying how he got connected to ISKCON. When he was traveling all around India, he landed somehow in Madurai, and after that he came to Odisha, and I think that's where he met the devotees, and later he got the Gita after that, after Jagannath Puri visit. And then he was saying how in their journey of finding the purpose of life and the ultimate, of the existence, they came across so many things, impersonalism, the light, whatnot. And then he was saying how he even understood about the soul, the Atma concept. And then he was he was talking about how, the liberated souls who are above the modes, or, even that actually he had understood. But then, when he read Gita, especially this verse, where Krishna is saying, because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, this is what struck Jananiva's Prabhu. Like, oh my God, the Lord is beyond both fallible and infallible. We think, there must be only two classification of living entities, either fallible or infallible. That's where our consciousness can go up to. But then there's someone beyond both these fallible and infallible, that is the Supreme Lord. So he said, reading this verse, he said, it gave me so much conviction, and then I took up to Krishna consciousness. And then his brother, Pankajangri Prabhu, he was saying how in his journey, he understood that ultimate is light. When you look at somebody or when you're meditating, you should get that light from within. And he thought that's the ultimate realization of the living entity. And he met Srila Prabhupada in London. Prabhupada was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class. And actually before that, Jananiva's Prabhu had already communicated to him that, go meet the devotees or like that. So he happened to go to ISKCON center there in London. And he went to the temple for the Bhagavatam class. And then when Prabhupada was giving class, there was a light coming from his forehead. And this is what Pankajangri Prabhu noticed. Oh my God, there's a light coming from his forehead. And I'm looking for this light. And that's how he was attracted to Srila Prabhupada. And then, he joined, and then he became Prabhupada's disciple. So this is all journey, the impersonalism, the Mayavada concept, and ultimately understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is all journey of the individuals. Like Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. So after so many lifetimes of that struggle to understand, that there's something beyond me, there's something higher, there's something ultimate, under whose shelter, under whose protection that I am existing. So in that journey, then one comes to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead after many, many lifetimes. I just heard this analogy from one devotee regarding the impersonal. See, Sri Prabhupada, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, his pranam mantra says, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He cut off all these impersonal Shunyavad and Mayavad like that. So once he gave this analogy when devotees asked, what about this impersonalism? Prabhupada said, consider, yourself to be a crorepati. Let's assume that I am crorepati sitting here, okay? And then I have like that 1 crore in my hand right now. And then I consider giving, distributing that money to each one of you, say. And will I be left with anything? Like if I just give away, I'm just like giving out that whatever the energy that I have, I'm just giving out, spreading it, through this room. And what is better, like me keeping that 1 crore to myself or just giving it away? What do you think is better? Or not in the spiritual sense, okay? Just, even in a common sense, what do you think is? Distributing. Anybody else? Distributing. Anybody else?
I would say it depends what you want to do with it. Sometimes you need more, and sometimes the money is fine.
Okay. Okay, I would consider keeping it, okay? So then, what's more beneficial, like for me, keeping that 1 crore is beneficial for me or just giving it away? What's beneficial, like to the individual? Keeping it, no? Obviously, isn't it? If you got 1 crore, you would obviously keep it. Unless you are given an instruction, give it away or anything. You would just keep it and use it. So that's being more powerful, having that energy than, distributing it. So impersonalism is like that, where, Karodpati is like that Krishna with all the qualities and that supreme power that he has, the qualities of the individual, that Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, the most beautiful person and all that. But then when that same energy gets distributed everywhere, that's being impersonal, where the energy is not in one place. Like when you want to focus the sunlight, you got to have that glass and then focus, that laser focus. That's when you can actually capture that light, no? Yes or no? So that's Krishna, who is the embodiment of all the qualities, Bhagavan, and the impersonalism, the impersonal feature of the Lord is that his energy is all spread all over. Okay? And one story of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was traveling in the train with his disciples, there was a man sitting next to him in the same compartment with that Mayavada understanding, right? He was saying, everything is one, everything is one. So Srila Saraswati Thakur, he gave an order to one of his disciples, get that box of mangoes, which is there. So then he brought it. He said, ask him to eat, give 1 mango to him to eat. So that man, he ate the mango. He said, give him 1 more. He ate the second one. And Saraswati Thakur said, give him 1 more. So like this, he gave him 5, 6, and he was eating. And Saraswati Thakur said, give him more. And then that man said, that's enough, I can't have. He said, why? Why you cannot have? 1 mango, 50 mangoes, does it matter? You are saying everything is 1. So 1 is equal to 50. So you must finish all the mangoes from this box. And he was like, no. So the individual soul and the supreme soul, considering them equal, to be one, it's not complete understanding. The individual soul and the supreme soul, they are equal in quality, and in quantity they differ. So this understanding has to be there in an individual who is progressing in Krishna consciousness. Now I just have a little PPT, to understand what exactly this fallible and the infallible souls and like that. Can we just connect the PPT? हाँ इधर है. Oh my God. Anyway, if it doesn't come, Hare Krishna. आया?
इसमें क्लिक कीजिए, फूल आएगा.
हाँ.
इसमें
मुझे स्लाइड शो करना था.
स्लाइड एक बार क्लिक मारिए, इधर आ जाएगा.
तो आगे चला गया है नहीं? ओके, सो नेक्स्ट के लिए हाँ ठीक है.
आगे जाएगा, आगे जाएगा.
Okay. So, if we look at, where did we go? Yeah. 15th chapter, 16th verse, we just go back a little. Krishna is saying, there are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. So here we are, fallible and infallible. So how are they? And Krishna calls them, Kshara and Akshara. So the fallible souls, Maya binds them to the material bodies. So when the material bodies are perishable, you see, so they are fallible souls. And the infallible, there is no Maya of this world. And then they have the spiritual bodies. The fallible souls, they go through repeated birth and death. But then the infallible souls, they are free from the cycle of birth and death. And the fallible souls, they reside in this material world. There is a verse from Brahma Samhita. It says, what is that? Right from Indra. What is that? 999. Indra Gopa, there is that verse, which says that right from the tiny ant up till the celestial, Indra, they're all struggling in this material world. So it's like that. And then the infallible souls, they always reside in the spiritual world. Okay? Now, the next verse, the 15th, 17, says, besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. So, the Supreme Soul, who is Paramatma, He is above these fallible and infallible souls. And He is controlling and supporting both the fallible souls and the infallible souls. Okay? See, here their individuality is so clear, no? The fallible souls are conditioned, they are in the material world, repeated birth and death and all that. And then the infallible souls are liberated, they live in the spiritual world, so clear. And then above these two is the Supreme Lord, who is also an individual. But then He is the controller, He is the supporter for both the fallible and the infallible souls. Is the individuality very clear in this, isn't it? Yes? Now, the Mayavadis, they have this argument, saying that, no, the impersonal, the individual soul and the Supreme Soul are one and the same. Atma and Paramatma are same. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. This is their argument. For this, this whole chapter of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 15, the yoga of the Supreme Person, which is referred to as the Purushottama Yoga, has so many, points to nullify those Mayavadi arguments. Okay? Here in 15.7, in the same chapter, Krishna is saying how He's saying, Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhutas Sanatana. The individual soul is my part and parcel. Krishna is saying it very clearly. Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke, Mama Eva Amsho. It's like my part and parcel. The individuality is so clear in that. And then there is a classification of the souls in the 16th verse, that fallible and infallible. And then their locations, their residences are also described, where these fallible and infallible souls reside. Very, very clear. Everything. How they are, their nature, where they live. Everything, Krishna is making it very, very clear. And then, this is what I was saying just now, that how the living entities are conditioned, to the body, the modes, the nature, Then, in 1517, where Krishna is talking about the supremacy of Paramatma, there he is saying how he's above both these fallible and infallible souls, right? So every point, is very clear. And then he's saying in 15:15 that I live, what is that verse? Let me just go back. Yeah. He says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. Krishna is saying, Sarvasya cha aham. He's saying, I reside in everybody's heart. I reside in every living entity. He is the companion for all the living entities. So there is this individual soul, and the Lord is residing in the individual soul, in the heart of the individual soul, accompanying him life after life, reminding him, what he's supposed to, what is his goal, guiding him, giving him permission to do things, to take actions towards him, right? So all these things, they disapprove those Mayavadi statements which say that the living entity, the soul and the super soul, they both are one, Isn't it clear? So clear. And the verse, the current verse, like today's verse, where Krishna says, because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Atosmi loke vedecha pratitha purushottamaha. So his transcendental disposition as Purushottama, the supreme person, is presented in this verse, 15:18. Now, Krishna is saying, Tosmi vede loke vedecha pratita purushottama. So when he is saying like that, then there could be a question, asking, who is this Purushottama that the speaker of the Gita referring to? Are they same or different? Same, right? Correct. Here, Krishna, how do we understand that it's same? Because here, in the verse he's saying, Aham aksharat apichottamaha. I am beyond both fallible and infallible. And the second one is saying, Aham pratita purushottama. I am the celebrated supreme person in the Vedas. So this Aham word refers to I, the first person. In Sanskrit, when you say, I sit or I run or I want to give you, so then this particular word is used, aham. Like in the 10th chapter, Krishna says, aham sarvasya prabhavo. From me comes everything. Everything emanates from me, aham. So that means he's holding that power. It's me, I'm the person. So there cannot be any doubt or confusion, that, the God is, why God is not a person, right? And because here it's saying, Atosmi loke vedecha, in the Vedas, he's saying I'm celebrated as Pratita Purushottama. In Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, I am, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in Bhagavatam, says, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, right? We have many references. Like that, there is a few references which I got. This is from Gopal Tapani Upanishad, which says, Krishna eva paro devaha tam dhyayet, tam rasayet, tam yajet, tam bhajet, which means Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So meditate upon Krishna, relish the bliss of Krishna's devotion, worship Krishna, and serve Krishna. Which verses of the Gita say similar thing? Anyone of you remember? Yes, the four things, worship me, offer obeisances to me, the same thing. And then, Yo asau param brahma gopalaha. Gopal is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. ये हो गया इसका. हाँ ये निकाल लो. हरे कृष्णा.
दिखाना कोई बात कीजिए.
हाँ नहीं. So, I know we are discussing so many things about, fallible and infallible and all this, how Krishna is, Bhagavan is the Supreme Personality, right? It's not just about the philosophy. It's not just about the understanding, right? It's all about the faith, where your faith lies. That's what matters a lot. We may say, we may talk about, yes, the impersonal aspect of the Lord, the localized aspect of the Lord as Paramatma, and the Bhagavan aspect. But then where is your faith? Where is your faith lying? That is very, very important. All our Vaishnava acharyas all around the Bharata Bhumi, they have glorified the Lord, His qualities, so beautifully. There is one beautiful song from, South Indian, one Vaishnava acharya. He says, Hari Kunida Namma, Hari Kunida, Akalanka Charita, Makara Kundala Dhara, Sakalara Palipa, Hari Kunida, Hari Kunida Namma, Hari Kunida. Here, this Acharya is describing Krishna. He's saying how the Lord is so beautifully dancing, in Vrindavan. And he has this Makara Kundala, the fish-shaped earrings, which are dazzling, And he's saying, this Lord, this beautiful, sweet Lord, He is the one who is maintaining everybody. Sakalara Palipa. He is the one who is nurturing, who is caring, so personally staying with the individual, See, in this world, we can't trust anybody and we can't depend on anybody. But this one personality, the Supreme Personality, is constantly with us, no matter what you do, how you live your life, doesn't matter. He's just constantly with you, giving you all that love and care that you need. And I'm sure, as practicing devotees, you all must have, individual experiences, how the Lord is nurturing you in your devotional journey. Yes? Come on, loudly. Yeah. So, see, like this point that I was making, how it's not just about the philosophy, it's about where your faith lies. Sometimes, maybe these impersonalists or Mayavadis, maybe they don't have faith. But you won't believe, even the devotees, the practicing devotees, even they might not have full faith in Krishna. This is a very serious statement I'm making, but it's true. Yes, we are, practicing, we are chanting the holy names, but still, somewhere we lack that full faith. Anybody having that experience of not having enough faith? Yeah, everybody.
Happens.
Yeah, yeah. And we always think, why this is happening to me? Maybe Krishna doesn't understand me, Krishna doesn't know. He doesn't understand, what I'm going through. He, he's just somewhere, he doesn't care. Like this, sometimes we feel this. But it's not true. Krishna is, he is the most intimate companion for us, and then he is caring for us completely. But we don't have faith. We don't have enough faith that he's caring for us, right? And then we keep doubting. This reminds me of this story of a villager. Previously everybody walked, from place to place. So this villager also was walking, and in the noontime when he got a bit tired, then he laid down under a big, there was a huge tree there giving enough shadow, enough shade. So he just put his bag and then he laid down. And as he laid down, he was thinking, such a big tree, and look at the fruits, they're so tiny. The creator, I think he lacks intelligence, Big tree should have big fruits. Why did he create small fruits in the big tree? So thinking like this, he rested. And then after a few minutes, one tiny fruit fell on his head, tongue, For a moment, that little fruit, when it falls from from the height, it actually hurts you a little bit, no? Then he was like, God, what happened to me? Then he suddenly realized, oh my God, the creator is indeed an intelligent person, If this big tree had a big fruit, just imagine, that big fruit crushes on the head, what would happen to that person? So I was like, no, the creator is intelligent. See, the creepers, tiny creepers, they don't need much, probably they need little space, but then they're very tiny, even very lightweight, but then they carry the huge fruits, like you see the pumpkin, the ash gourd, those creepers hold the big fruit because they are in the ground. But then these trees are high up, and if they carry big fruits, it's troublesome. So the creator is not less intelligent. God is the most intelligent person, and he knows exactly what we need. And he's always there. You can approach him anytime and all the time. He's just with you. He's your friend. He's our friend. And like 5th chapter, the last verse of the 5th chapter says, Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sugridam sarvabhutanam. He is the Lord of everything. And he is the friend of everybody. He is the friend. He is the only friend, we can say. He is the only friend. And we can't find better friend than Krishna, the most beautiful Shamsundar we have here. Oh my God, he's so lovely. He's so beautiful. Very attractive. And if we can get his attention, I think then our life, our spiritual life, our journey, will reach, it's like already reached the destination. Now, why we lack faith? Why do we lack faith? Although, we are practicing, why are we lacking that little faith? Any points? Any reasons why we lack that faith?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. No, we do have some intelligence, knowledge, because we are practicing.
Some faith, some not.
Some, yeah. Okay, anything else? Anybody else?
No commitment.
No commitment? Okay, yes.
like doesn't come true.
Then you lack. We expect too much.
Lack of surrender.
Lack of surrender. Yeah. Anybody else? What could be the reason for us not having enough faith? Yes, Sadhana Mataji.
We want to enjoy.
We want to enjoy. Yeah, that's the biggest point. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, I have some points for you. Why we lack faith is we lack the association of faithful devotees. One of the main reasons. And then, like Prabhuji said, not enough committed we are. So we are not like, we could be maybe not sincerely practicing the Krishna consciousness practices, like the chanting, however it should be. Maybe we are not up to that mark, and we may be eating things which are not offered, because food, when it is not offered, and when you consume that kind of food which is not offered, then obviously it affects the consciousness, and then it brings that confusion from that food. I don't know who has made that, with what consciousness. All that impacts negatively on your consciousness, right? And then maybe not following the 4 regulative principles, which is, Prabhupada said, no compromise on this, And then too much of mundane association, maybe too much scrolling on Facebook, Instagram, right? Now that artificial intelligence, programs, maybe we are caught up in all that, that is draining off our, energy, and not letting us have complete dependence on Krishna. But then it's making more and more, it's making us more and more dependent on the machines than the Supreme Lord, So in order to purify our heart and increase our faith in Krishna, who is our only shelter, protector, the guide, the lover, anything you call him, So in order to get all that, we need, what we need? The constant bombardment of the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we need this constant bombardment in our ears, because in our ears we are getting so many other things bombarded, which is actually not being favorable for us to increase our faith. And then we need the strong network connection of faithful devotees. This network, it's important, but we need the network of faithful devotees, and that network can actually have the strong impact of Krishna consciousness on us. And we certainly need to hear the inconceivable glories and greatness of Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad-Gita regularly. In one of the purports, I think, I don't know which chapter, somewhere maybe 11th chapter or even before, Srila Prabhupada says, he says, one must know the greatness of Krishna. Once you know the greatness of Krishna, then your faith increases. When you know the person's value, how this person is, what is the person's position, the quality, the nature, then you respect that person more. Then you depend on that person more. You go to that person, approach that person for guidance. So that's what it is. So we need to hear His glories over and over again so that, our consciousness, gets purified, and then we actually fall in love with Krishna. Prabhupada says this, when you know the greatness of Krishna, the more you know, the more you fall in love with Krishna, He is not just great, but along with all the greatness, He's so good in reciprocating. Someone being so great and at the same time coming down to your level and reciprocating with you on an individual basis. Little things, in our life. We just pray, Krishna, Krishna, let me go on time. Let me not get the traffic on the way. We do that now on the way. Let my petrol in the gadi not exhaust, We do this, little things, We constantly keep asking Krishna, Krishna, please, let that devotee not be. I don't know what all, for every time, we just keep Krishna, So, but He is there. He is there for you to fulfill those desires, every single time. So, now, our duty is to depend on that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shyam Sundar, who is so loving and caring. And then we go back to Him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
If you have any comments or questions, Hare Krishna.
When you were saying about giving the Lakshmi out, I would have thought, sorry, I was a bit slow to respond, thought that if you gave it to someone who was more Krishna consciousness than yourself, it would be beneficial.
No, this is just an analogy where, to to refer to the impersonalism, okay? There's nothing about social services or anything. It's just to, Prabhupada is just giving that analogy of saying how the energy gets distributed. The energy is not in one place, but as Krishna, as Bhagavan, everything is in Him. The impersonal feature, the Paramatma feature, and the Bhagavan Himself as Krishna as He is, with all the 64 qualities, right? So He is complete. He's complete in Himself, right? So that's kind of, this is a very tiny, comparison, but that's like having that 1 crore with you, having it with you. It's, say 1 crore is the ultimatum. So then you have that 1 crore with you, and then you have all that power. But then if you just give away, you're just spreading that energy, and then you're not, others cannot capture you, others cannot understand that you are that powerful person having that 1 crore.
But what if you don't do anything with it? You're just sitting on it. Like someone might have more mentality to use the money for the service.
No, it's not about the further actions. It's just only this much to understand that. Yeah, just this analogy that Prabhupada gave others to understand. Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
Yeah, that without Paramatma in the material world, I mean, there wouldn't be any function. It couldn't function.
Yeah.
Because we, first of all, are conditioned. So what do we know about functioning in the material world? All the Brahmanas, would be impossible for us. So Paramatma has to be there.
Yes, and He is.
And on top, also in our hearts, also to guide us, because we are helpless. We cannot do nothing.
Yes.
If we are conscious of Him, He guides us to go to the spiritual world. But if not, He guides us even in the material world. So without the super soul here, Paramatma, the material world wouldn't be able to exist.
Yes, so true, so true.
It is the living entity and the Paramatma important to address Him, no?
Yeah, it is. It's very true. If Paramatma, if Krishna didn't exist as Paramatma, if Krishna, like the verse says that he is entering into the world, he's just there. If he didn't do that, then probably even we cannot exist.
The material world wouldn't be existing.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody that manages it, that maintains it.
Yeah, it's like that electric socket and then the battery, of your phone, it's like that. The main electricity is like Krishna. And then only when you have that connection, you charge yourself with him, then you work. And if you don't charge with him, then, you're dead. Yeah, thank you for that.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.